Hello, Sandy from Doux Designs. Very excited to be coloring with you guys tonight and creating. I hope some of you have already received your stamp set so you can color with me, hopefully. Hello, Beth. How are you? Trying to grab myself a sticky mat real quick that I can put the image on so we can color it because I've already cut it out. I have some cool stuff for us to do tonight, so I want to go ahead and get started. It's going to take a little bit, so and I haven't picked my colors yet, so I got a little bit of work to do. I did pick my color of papers, so we'll get to that. Plus, this is the new paper pad here. I have some scraps in there from another one. So I know you guys saw the videos. Front is cats and dogs, and the back is wood grain in different colors. So I know that we can always find wood grain in the wood grain colors, but I can't ever find it in a lot of other colors. So I thought that would be super fun to try out tonight. For those of you, yeah, thanks. Okay, hello, Cheryl. I'm good. I'm good. So this is our Puppy Love stamp set that has all 4 of these cute little puppies, and then you have paws and bones and a ball and some sentiments. So tonight we're going to use It's Your Day, Pause and Celebrate, and we also have Sending You Cuddly Hugs and Tail Wags. So I'm not going to use the tail wags one tonight, I don't think. I think we're going to use the other one, but we have a whole new card design. It's going to be a gift card. It's going to be a gift card holder card, if you will. You guys know what that means, right? Yay, you're ready. Okay, so I have my little dachshund cut out. So we're going to do the dachshund tonight. Ha ha ha. So cute. I haven't decided what color I was going to do him yet. I'd like to do them different than I did on the package. So maybe a little bit more brown, but maybe a little bit more on the, like instead of red, my phone updates, sorry, I'm figuring it out still. That's okay. Maybe a little bit more on the lighter brown than the reddish brown that I used. So I'm just kind of over here looking at my colors, trying to decide which one I want to use for this. So let's try, I mean, we could do black or we could do any color actually, but I think we shall try, let's try the 40s, in the E40s. So it will be a very light brown, pale-ish color. So let's pull the E40s out. So I have 47, 44, 43, 42. I pulled 40. I don't know if we'll need it or not, but if we get there and we need it, then we can. I think we're going to need 49 as well for the nose. So I'm going to pull that one too. So I really just pulled the whole 40 sequence. So if you don't have that, you can pull the 29, 25, 27, 23, or you can pull the 59, 57, 55, 53, or you can pull the 39, 37, 35, 33, I mean, whichever ones you want. So there's a lot of options for this. Now for the eyes, the papers, colors that I chose because I want to use this piece of paper. So I chose 2 blues to go with it. So I'm going to choose blue for the eye color so that it works really well with the paper, since I won't be using a lot of any other colors since he's going to be all brown. Then I'm going to grab blue. 49, 47, 44, 43, 42, maybe 40 or 41. I'm not sure yet. But I think those are the basics we're going to start out with. For the eyes, I think I'm going to go with maybe trying to decide. You guys, it's so hard to decide. He is so stinking cute. I'm so glad you like him. I was contemplating. I couldn't decide between the cats and the dogs. I love them all. I colored them like 3 or 4 times, like the full sets, because I just couldn't decide what color I wanted them to be at. Even did, like, look at this one. We'll have to do this on a live because this was super fun. I did this cat in all different colors and made it look like a kind of like a patchwork cat. So we'll have to do that process because it was a lot of fun. So these are the ones I chose for the eyes, B06, 04, and then I'm throwing in BG11, but we'll see how it goes. If we need a different one, we'll pull it when we get there. But I would think that you guys might like to see how to do something like that because that was really fun and super cute. But I used to have a Dachshund. He was a chocolate, so she was a chocolate puppy, so she was really, really dark. But I like this one. I'm going to grab my Copic holder just so you guys will be able to see the number that we're working on. It reminds me to show you the number of the marker that I'm on, so I like to use it. If I don't, sometimes I forget to like point it out to you guys where I'm at. I think I'm going to move this guy over here. You have a chocolate long hair? Yes. I got mine from Down Home Dachshunds. It was, her name was Missy, and we got her from Mississippi. So that's kind of how she got the Missy name. My husband didn't want any pets, but we got her anyway, and we paid pretty good amount of money for her. So he called her Xbox because he said I spent his Xbox money on the dog. So that's kind of a funny story. But let's go ahead and get started. I have the E49 out, and I'm going to start with the nose real quick because I want to get a little bit of this dark color in there on the nose so it stands out separately from the rest of the puppy. So I'm going to just do along the top and then a little bit along the bottom. It'll look a little funny while we're coloring the rest of the dog, but I want you to be able to see that. So if you're coloring along, we're going to put a little bit of this in the very dark shadow areas, but don't use too much of it. Okay, just a little bit. So where the ear is folding over right here, we're going to put a little bit of this E49 in there. And then I'm going to do where it's folded here, just a little bit, not too much. Right there. And then I'm going to do this, kind of this little dip again on this side. And here where it's folded. And then here. Kind of the same place on both sides, just because we want to put just a teeny bit of that really dark color in there. I'm also going to put some right here up underneath where this ear is, because that ear is definitely shadowing that body. And I'm not going to put any on the other side, just that side. And then up underneath here, we need some of the really dark shadow up underneath here. So most of that gets colored in with that dark color. And then right here, behind the arm, and just right there. So we're just putting in a teeny bit of that dark shadow. I'm going to put a little bit here because they have really big chests, and then all the other stuff underneath is shadowed. because they have very stocky chests. And that is all. What a cutie. Thank you, Sandra. And that's all I'm going to do with this really dark E49. I don't want too much of that really dark because I want the puppy to be a brighter, lighter brown. So I'm going to move to the next one, which is E47. He's so sweet. It just, I can see my dog's face in his when I look at this one. All right, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to mess with the nose. We're going to go back to where we put this dark color, and we're going to just extend out just a little bit. This is where you want to use those brush strokes that you've been practicing to keep them very small. I'm going to go just along the outside and then come down here and enhance that fold right there. I'm also going to go up a little bit from this fold as well and right along the bottom here, just like that. So right now that's all I have done. And then we're going to go along right up here where the ear meets the head. We need just a little bit right in there. And we're going to do that the same thing on the other side. So remember, we're kind of mirroring that effect just on the other side. So I'm trying to keep my hands out of it because I know that some of you are coloring with me and I don't want to put my hand too far into the set so you can see. But always remember that don't get frustrated. If I happen to get ahead of you, you can always watch the replay. But I am trying to move just a little bit slower tonight than I normally do, just so you guys can keep up with me. So right here along this side of the face, I want to put a little bit of this color over here because his little ear is shadowing, and then this side as well. So just a little bit there. Not too much. And then it's time to expand from where we put that E49 earlier and just make these just a little bit longer. This shadow area here. We're not going to do around the outside until we get to like the next one. So now I'm going to go on the underbelly and just expand out from there. I am going to go around the back side right here where the little tail is. Just for now. We'll do the tail in the next color. And then I'm going to start lining some of these artist drawn lines here so that they stay a little bit darker. And that is the reason that I added the artist drawn lines, is so you could see some of the folds. And so if they're folds, they should be they should have some darker color to them. It'll just help give it a little bit of texture and design. So as you can see, we're starting to get there. We're going to finish off under the underside because really that's completely shadowed. We put some E49 here, so I'm going to just expand from there. I am going to go up a little bit so it just doesn't look like one big black spot over there on that side. And I'm also going to expand from this one as well. Not too much there. I'm going to come down this side and kind of do a little bit right here where his back foot touches his front foot. And then I'm going to do this artist drawn line right there. Not any shadowing, just the line. And then to keep these in between the toes, I'm just going to go right over the line that's already there. So hold your marker upright so you can get a very tiny thin line. And don't worry, we'll blend it out with the next colors. We're just getting some dark color in there. And there we go. Hair fur is less intimidating. I feel like I can do it. Yay! It really is. And this one, I don't really do as much of the fancy fur. I decided to do those artist lines as well. But when I get to, like, this one has a lot of fur that we can do. This one's good because the Dachshunds, they're so soft and smooth. Unless you have a long-haired one, it's probably a little bit different. But for me, it was all very smooth and sleek. But don't be intimidated. Everybody always thinks, oh my goodness, I need to do all this fur, and you don't really have to. So this is E44. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go back to where we had started, and we're going to start expanding out just a little bit more. Now this is our middle color, so we are going to do round the outside. So I'm just going to start going all the way around the ear. So I'm expanding from where I put the darkest color. I'm going to hit it one more time because I can see the lines, just to smooth that out a little bit. And then I'm going to go around here, and it doesn't matter how much you get in there. We'll go over it with the lighter colors, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But we're going to do the other side too. So expanding from here, the outside fold of that ear. One more time, just for blending purposes. And then we're going to come down from where this fold is and just extend out here. There we go. Don't worry, we have 2 more colors to get some super smooth, super cute fur. So I'm going to turn to the side a little bit. Going to extend from where I put these. Now you'll want to be a little bit cautious right around the eye. I have a fuzzy on my marker, so I'm going to wipe that off before I keep going. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's right there. And I'm just going to wipe on this paper to get it off, because I don't want it to go right into the eye because it's overhanging, you know. I'm going to go a little bit under the eyes. And since we're doing around the outside, I'm going all the way around the top. I'm going to come out from this side right here. Underneath the eye. Try not to go into the eye. And then I'm going to do some of the nose. So I'm going to spread down from that darkest color. I'm going to go all the way around and then up from the darker color underneath. So down at the top, up from the bottom, just like that. Then since we're doing around the outside, we're going to go around this part of the dog. We're going to put a little bit in his little bottom lip there. We're going to come in on the sides all the way underneath his lip. I'm going to start extending out so we can start getting these colors to meet up for us. It won't look real well blended right now, but you don't have to worry about that. We'll get there. We'll get it blended with the rest of the colors, because I think I still have 2 or 3 more colors. So we can for sure blend that out. And it all depends on how light or dark you want your puppy to be. So if you want them to be darker, you'll use more of this. If you want them to be lighter like mine, then you'll use the lighter colors. So around the outside, we're starting to expand from where we put the original color. We'll leave a little bit for highlight. I'm going to put a little bit under the tail so that you can see the tail. We're going around the outside of the foot. Still not completing the foot yet. but just going around there to get that color in there. I'm going to go around each side of the foot. So each side. You want all the color around the outside before we're done with this one. So this part right here, I'm not going to go this way because we are doing all of our fur going like this. So I need to come down here and keep this fur going in this direction. I want to kind of stay with that. We're going to go away from this center part on both sides. So we're going to keep that fur going like this, okay? On the outside of this foot. Kind of the same thing, so there we go. And then this back foot right here, I'm just going to color that in. Now I just want to do one more thing before we move on, and that is I want to put a little bit right here, like where we're starting to build up to the center of his head. It's going to look funny for a little bit, but don't worry. And then from this one, I want to kind of start building towards those sides because his little snoot is sticking out. It always is on a dachshund. So I want to color that in. So he'll look a little funny for now, but he'll get better, I promise. Don't worry, these colors blend really well. So as we go through with the next couple of colors, if you have something that's not well blended, it will be by the time we're done. Okay, so next we have E43. I'm going to go all the way back to starting on this ear again. So kind of trying to stay in the same place so you guys can follow me. I'm going to do most of that, leaving just a small area for that last color. I'm going to start filling in a little bit more on this side of the ear, but not all of it because I want to keep that a bit lighter than the rest of the dog. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Did you hear my voice started cracking? So those who are not coloring with me but just hanging out with me, I will not be live on Thursday because I will be on the road to Mesa, Arizona for the expo show. I'm going to meet Christina Rutter up there. We're going to hang out, do some crafty stuff up there. I don't really like the way this part right here looks, so I'm going to color that in a little bit more. I want to see that fold, but not as much on that side. But I think that Dale is going to craft with you guys on Thursday, so don't forget to tune in on Thursday night and let Dale show you some other crafty stuff he has up his sleeve. He's been thinking about it, so he's preparing. Be gentle with him, though. It will only be his second live ever, so I'm filling in most of this around his eyes and stuff. We want to kind of start filling that in. We'll have the last color to blend a little bit more. If I see a part where it's really far away from being blended, I'm going to go over it a second time. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter if it's super blended or not at this point. So I'm going to do this underside of his, I don't know if you call that like his lip area, and the top side. And I'm going to leave the sides for a little bit of highlight. I hope you guys aren't commenting and I can't see it. Because I don't see any. I'm going to finish the nose. So I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit so I can get that to blend in. And look, he's got a shiny nose. Yep, I agree, Beth. I think he can do it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the lip. And then we're going to start working on the rest of the body. For now, the face and the ears are good. I figure he could show you guys some things, some other stuff, since I'm usually coloring and crafting, but That way he has a little bit more time to show you some other stuff. So we are going to do a new card I haven't done before tonight. So hopefully you guys can stick around. So I'm just starting to blend that out, leaving some light areas for the last color. You can already see how soft he's starting to look. I just want to pet him. He looks so soft already. And notice that I'm coming from both directions, from the center and from the outside. Kind of meet in the middle sort of thing. There we go. Starting to look good. I'm going to touch a little bit more here to get rid of that any lines I had. This is his backside, so I'm going to finish the tail, and I'm also going to finish the rest because it's not going to have highlight way back here. I'm going to do most of the foot. I'm going to leave just a teeny bit right above the toes for a little bit of highlight since his little feet are sticking out. So same thing here. Do from the edge of his toes and then towards the center on both sides. I'm going to leave a little bit of highlight on the top of his toes. I'm happy with that. And now we're going to do the other side. And those that are coloring with me, please feel free to share in the group when we get done, if you don't mind. I would really appreciate it. And you guys know you can always share your coloring and ask questions and anything like that. I mean, you guys saw the snowman video I did the other day was a request from somebody to show them how to do it. So if you ask, I try to get it for you. Look at how cute he is. Oh my goodness. We are finished with E43. And now we're going to go to E42. This is E42. And this one, we're going to do most of the rest of it with E42. We'll just use the 40 if we need to move any of the color around. So I'm going to start in the ear, and I'm just going to do a little bit of this back and forth over top of wherever that light area is. You don't want to do it too much because it really will move the ink around a little bit, and you don't want to move and have a big white spot there. But as you can see highlight right in here. We're going to do this side of the ear. I'm also going to come down here and go over what I had put over there. That's going to give him a little bit lighter along the front side of his ear. So cute. Now I'm going to work on this part right here between the center of his head and his eye. And I'm going to be real careful as to not color inside that eye. But you can use your colorless blender if you happen to go too far. So that does his forehead. And then we're going to do right down alongside the little nose right here. So you're really just lightly touching the paper to get those colors to blend together. You can tell where I've already blended and where I haven't. All right, let's do the other side. So make sure to turn your paper around if you need to. Some people can blend towards or away from themselves, and some have to move the paper because they can only go one way. I have good days and bad days. Some days I can color in both directions, and some days I can't. So really depends on the day. I never know until I try. If it's not working, I just turn the paper around. So this part right here, so close to the eye, I want to make sure I don't go inside the eye. We're just going to go back and forth over that area to kind of soften those separate lines and just get us a nice smooth little blend right there over the nose. And then we're going to come alongside this nose right here and get that softened up too. So notice I didn't do too much over the nose because I want to leave that part right there a little bit dark, like right in here, so that it looks like his nose is sticking out. That looks like his nose is longer. I have a fuzzy on my marker. What's up with that tonight? Okay. Gonna come down here and I'm gonna do the neck back and forth like this. Whatever area I have left on the neck, I'm gonna do back and forth. And I'm only touching the paper with a pressure of maybe 1, like super light, because you don't need a lot of color, you just need to touch the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch over this too so I can see that that blends nicely together. And then we're gonna do this side. So back and forth, really, really light. And then just softly going over those areas where they touch. Where the new color gets added to the old color. Just soften that up. That one looks like there's like a stubborn spot right here, if you can see it. So I'm going to go over it one more time. Now I'm going to let it dry, and if it still needs a little bit of work, then we'll go back to it. I'm going to do the toes right now. Not a big enough space to go back and forth, so I'm just touching it all one direction. So cute. Here we go. Little foot. I'm going to go this way as well. This way. And there we go. And this color, I love this color combination because it almost builds texture in itself just using these particular colors. It's like you can see a texture coming alive on the paper. And so if I ever want a brown with a texture, I will always use these because they work so well together. I have to beat my husband at cribbage. I'll watch the replay. Yay! Okay, well, good luck. I hope you win. This is the other side. We're just going to go back and forth like that and get that nice and smooth. And then we have them done. All we have to do is his eyes. The card's going to be super fun. So those who are still hanging out will do the card. We did not need E40, so I'm going to put that away. I'm going to grab my B06. This is going to be for the eyes. And what I'm going to do is put a dark bit of it at the top of his eyes. So it's right up against the top. I don't know if you can see this, but it's right up against the top, but then I came out just a little bit out here. It's not a stop at a certain spot. So it's just to get some of that dark color, and then I'll also be able to blend with some of that dark color because I didn't stop in a straight line. So the next color we're going to use is E04. And we are going to go over and extend down from the color that we already put in there. Just like this, leaving a small spot at the bottom with no color in it. Okay, so just like that, those two colors blend nicely together. These are going to look very glassy eyes. So you'll notice I did 2 B's and a BG, and that's because if you know when I do eyes, I like to add a little bit of green just to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic. So I thought maybe the BG11 would work. So what we're going to do is a little bit of back and forth right down here at the bottom to soften up the change between the blue and the blue-green. And if you can see how pretty that looks? Can you see that before I do the other side? Look at how pretty that looks. It just gives it a very glassy look. We're going to do the same thing on this side, back and forth. We just kind of do back and forth a couple of times, and then we can kind of work that where the two colors meet up if we need to. And then when we start seeing it come together, we just stop. Let the ink continue to blend on its own, and you'll get a very beautiful, glassy looking eye. So I'm going to take it off this blue background so you guys can really see what it looks like. Look at those eyes. Ooh, they came out so good. I really, really like them. I'm going to zoom in just a bit more because we're going to do the multi-liner and the white gel pen. And I want you to be able to see what I'm doing up close. So I'm going to use the smallest multi-liner that I have. And then I'm going to use my favorite Milky White Deco Gel white gel pen. So we're going to use the 0.25. And what I'm going to do is just, it's okay if you go over the white area. Don't worry about that because we're going to build it back in with the white gel pen. But I'm going to go in here and try to darken up the pupil. So as you can see, it's way darker than this side. And while I covered up the white and that kind of took away from the beautifulness of it, don't worry because we'll put it right back in. But I wanted these eyes to be super dark, so they needed to be touched up with this multi-liner. And we're going to give it a minute or two to dry because if we don't, then the white gel pen becomes gray as it dries. So I'm going to put a little bit of the white gel pen on the nose. Just a little bit on the top of his nose. I'm also going to put just a little bit along this area right here where it's folded up and there's a little bit of a design there. Just to give us a little bit of white, shiny white in there. And I can tell you, if you put white gel pen, at least this white gel pen, where you don't, and then you don't want it there, you can erase it with, this eraser. I have this eraser right here, high polymer eraser. Well, it'll erase the white gel pen. Look, I'll show you. So if you put white gel pen on there and you didn't really want it on there, you can erase it and then you can put it in there again wherever you want it. So don't worry if you make a little mistake or if you make it too thick and you want it to be thinner. You can go in and erase it. I learned that by a mistake I did. I was trying to erase something else and it erased all my white gel pen. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can erase the white gel pen with this eraser. So yeah, I learned that. Okay, let's put the eyes back in this little guy's eyeballs. So there we go. Now we have the whites back in the eyes and we have this cute little dachshund puppy all colored up. Now, who's ready to make a card? This is going to be a gift card, a birthday card. So let's set our little dachshund aside. It won't take too long. It's a pretty easy card, but it's pretty cool looking. In fact, I'll show you what it's going to look like before we get done in case you're coloring or you want to craft it with me. I did it with the cat. So it looks like this. It's just one panel. But when you pull this out, this is where the gift card fits in here. And I had one sitting right here so I can show you. It's a gift card, fits right in there. and then you just slide it down in the pocket. So it's a little gift card. It's cute. You can decorate it however you want. We're going to make one for the puppy tonight. So, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We'll need that gift card thingy. Don't worry. It's dead gift card. So, first what we're going to do is cut the paper to the size that we need. So we're going to start with, I'm going to do the dark paper as the outside and the light paper as the inside. So we need to cut this paper right here to 6. Oh, I better turn this around so you guys can see it. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to cut this paper to 6 inches. So 6. And we'll just take that and set it aside. By 9 1/4. No, I don't think there's very many weird sizes tonight. Well, maybe a couple. But. Okay, so now we have 6 by 9 1/4. That is one piece. And then we're going to go ahead and cut the inside piece just because I already have the cutter out, and then we'll score at the same time. So the inside card that goes in there is going to be 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut this down. And then it's going to be by 5 3/8. So 5. Oh, I hate it when I can't see because of this thing right here. It drives me crazy. I'm just going to guess. I think that's good enough. I can just guess. If it's too long, we can trim it off. We'll check it when we get done. But there's that piece, 5 3/8 by 4. And then we're going to need a white card piece for the inside. So I have some of those already cut up at, is it going to be big enough? Let me see. So this is, nope, it's not going to be big enough. So I'm going to have to use white paper. I think this one might be big enough. I'm not sure. I need it to be smaller than this one. Yep, okay. So this one is going to be 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut it right here by 3 3/4. So, you know, the other one was 4. This one's 3 3/4. And it's because it's going to get matted on top of that other piece, which is this one right here. Okay. Now we're going to need one more piece. We're going to need the one that holds the card. So we're going to need, I'm going to use this paper because I want to use this on the inside. So I know this is 6 inches. I need 6 by 2. So I'm just going to cut this one at 2. And that way I know the words are going to be going the right way. Because it's going to go across the card like this. And I want the words to go the right way. Or I could do it this way. Whichever way I want. Because it's double-sided paper, so we're good. Then we need one that is 4 inches. So this should be close to 4. Oh, this is exactly 4 because that was 6 inches and we cut it at 2. So 4. And then we need to cut this one at 5 1/8. Oh, yeah, this one is going to go like this. Because if I put it like this, the words are messed up. All right, so we are going to use this side for the front since we're using that side for the inside. And then we have this leftover piece like this, which I tend to use like across the front or, you know, wherever. Like on this one, I used it as the extra piece on the front. So you can do that if you want. I think we probably will do that tonight. So in that case, we'll probably need a piece of this color as well. So I'm just going to randomly cut one out real quick. Just, we'll trim it down when we get ready, but I'll use my small trimmer at that point. So I think that's all we need in paper. So it really just takes one 6x6 piece of paper and one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and then that's it. Now I need my scoreboard. We're almost done. And on the scoreboard, I'm going to take this 6 by 9 1/4. And I'm going to lay it on the long side, which is the side that goes all the way to 9 1/4. And then I'm going to score it at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. And then I'm going to score it at 7. Just like that. 2 3/4 and 7. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it to the short side, which is the 6-inch side, and I'm going to score it at 5/8. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, right here. There we go. So now we have a paper that looks like this. Okay. That is it for the scoring. Oh no, we need to score the little one. This 6x2, we need to score this one too. So on the long side, I'm going to flip it over because I want to be able to fold it with that other one on the outside. So we're going to score at 1 1/8, so right here. And then we're going to score it at 4 7/8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Right there. And that's it. So we have 2 score lines on this one. That's what's going to wrap around the card. And so not very many scores. And I do have all this written down, so I will let you take a screenshot of it as soon as I'm done. If you would like, you are more than welcome to do that. So our next step is going to be to cut this. We're going to cut this paper to get it ready. So I need to find my scissors. Okay, I'll just use my baby scissors. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out and we're going to cut this out. But when we do it, we want to cut it at an angle. So I normally just eyeball this because it's going to be behind the card anyway. Like, you won't see it. So it doesn't matter if it's straight or exactly right. It doesn't matter. So I just kind of pick a little angle, go to the center right here, and just cut that. And then, oops, I tore it. Darn it. And then we're going to cut this off. So we don't need that piece. And then we're going to cut this off as well. Unfortunately, I tore that paper. I guess my scissors got stuck on there or something. Right here. But we're going to fix it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. So I think I'm going to put a little something right there, like a little bit of tape. Like, I'll just use this double-sided sticky tape to reinforce from the inside. Just because I don't want it to come apart at all. So I'm going to take this little piece of sticky and I'm going to put it right here and I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to peel off that other side. I'm just going to leave it like that to reinforce that when we fold it over. And hopefully that will fix our little mistake on this side. So we should be fine. It looks pretty good now. Okay, so we're going to fold on the score lines and burnish those folds. And this one. We got a little bit. I think I'll probably just trim that off. That excess paper right there, I think we'll be fine. They're really going to care about the gift card on the inside anyway. That way. And then I'm going to do this. Okay, so before we go any further, you need a 1-inch punch. And every time I put that 1-inch punch away, I have to get it back out. So I have done this with hexagons and squares, and you know, so if you don't have a circle, don't freak out. You can just punch it. Now I want to put my pattern paper on there before I punch it, so I'm gonna go ahead. What? Did I cut my pattern paper wrong? I just had like, is that right? Did I cut this too short? Look, I cut it too short. How did I do that? The envelope is 6 by 9 1/4. That's what this is. What? You guys, I might have messed up my measurement. I'm going to check this and see if I was just crazy. So 6 by 9 1/4. And what would this one be? Oh, I did this score line. It should have been 5/8. We did it way up here. You see that? I messed it up. Well, let's just do it again. Right? What do you say? You guys have time? That's Night and Navy paperwork. I'm just going to pull one more. Hey, I never said I was perfect. I was watching a lady the other night on YouTube who messed up hers too. So that's why you always watch first and then do. Because if we make a mistake. So I'm going to run through this a little bit faster this time since it's the only one I have to do. So 6 by 9 1/4. So I'm going to do the 9 1/4 real quick. Well, I tore the paper, and so that was a sign something was wrong. By 6. Then we'll score again, and we'll get it right this time. All right, there we go. I'll grab my scoreboard again. You guys don't mind if I make a mistake, right? It means I'm human. On the 9 1/4 inch side, we're going to score at 2 3/4. I even counted these out. What is wrong with me? And then we're going to turn it. And I think I said 2 3. Oh, I looked at the wrong one. Yeah, I have it written down right. I just did it wrong. It should have been 1 2 3 4 5. I should have done it right here. And then that way, our pattern paper fits right there. See? Perfect. Okay. I just scored in the wrong place. I'm so sorry. I haven't only made this card like 3 times and I designed it, but when you practice designing, you like make it so many times and cut it so many times that you can't remember exactly what you did. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to cut this at a little bit of a corner. I'm just going to be a little more careful that I don't tear the paper this time. I mean, this is 80-pound paper, so it shouldn't tear like that, but I guess it was just trying to give me a sign that I made a mistake, and I just didn't pick up on it. At least my instructions are written right, so when you guys take a snap, you'll have the right instructions. There we go. So you should only cut out a very small piece like this. It should only be 5/8 of inches wide, 5/8. You don't need a whole lot to seal your envelope. So I'm going to fold this over. We're going to get right back to the spot where we were. It won't take that long. We're almost there. All right. So there it is. We want to go ahead and put our paper on here. I think I want the lighter color at the top. So I'm going to grab my glue. And I'm going to put it along here. just like that. We're gonna center it here, leaving a little bit of a border around the scored areas, just like that. And the reason we put the paper down first is because when I punch this, if I don't have the paper on there, then I have to punch them both, and they never line up if you don't do them at the same time. So half a circle. I'm just kind of guesstimating that it's centered. You can do that however you want, but I'm just an eyeballer. So half a circle, just cut it out, and there you go. If you put the paper on first, you don't have to worry about the cut. It will always be in the right place, but if you wait, then it's hard to estimate exactly where to cut it. So our next step is going to be for us to fold in the sides. So I'm going to fold the larger one on the inside and then the other one on top. And you can do this however you want. I'm going to put this on the outside, this piece right here on the outside. But you can do it either way. You can do it on the inside. You can do it however you want. This area I didn't cut quite as far up as I was supposed to. And if you need to trim, you can. But whenever you score, you want to cut at the top of the score line, not right in the center of the score line. Otherwise, they won't fold up correctly like I just ran into because I was rushing. Okay, so I want to put the larger one on the underside, and then this one will fold up and seal like that. It looks just like an envelope. Hey, Barbara. So I like it to fold right down the center, so we're going to put the bigger one on the inside. We're going to put, I need to refill my glue. I'm going to put the glue along this part, and then I'm going to put it right along this very edge right here, just to make sure that it lays down completely flat. I'm going to use my super cool soda press here to kind of press that down and get a really good hold. And then we're going to take this piece right here. It looks like I have a little hangover right here, and I don't want that to cause any issues, so I'm just going to trim that off. We're going to put glue on our little fold right here. Love this glue. It holds everything. I'm going to fold that up, and I'm going to use my soda press again to burnish that. I love this. I use this probably more than anything else on my desk. It burnishes, it puts the fold really good, it makes sure it adheres every corner. I just love it. Okay, so here is, if you wanted, you could have waited to punch. My punch doesn't work very well through 2 layers, so we did it on the first layer, and now all I'm going to do is stick it back in there and trim the back layer. So as long as I can see, well, the lighting is not very good in here. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see. I'm just going to punch out the other side so that it's open on both sides. You can do it however works best for you, but that's the way it works best for me. Next, we're going to design. Well, let's do the inside, then we'll design the outside. So this is the inside card piece that's going to go in. And I'm just going to check it to make sure, because remember we couldn't see where the measurement was. So yeah, there's just a tad bit off, because all trimmers, they have that where they have the arm and there's no measurements. It's so frustrating. And so I was eyeballing it because there was no measurement on my trimmer. So I'm just going to slice a very small snippet off the edge, and then it will fit just fine in here. I know you just popped in, Barbara. I'm going to give the dimensions for this in a few minutes, and you guys will be able to take a screenshot of it if you want to make it yourself. It's a gift card holder. So before I put the white piece on, this is where we want to put the pocket first, because this is going to be for our gift card holder. So I'm going to take this paper that we scored, and I'm going to burnish this. And then I'm going to do it on the other side. Just like this. I'm going to make sure, because I feel like I folded that a little bit too far. I don't know. We'll see. Nope, it's perfect. So we're just going to fold that over, and we're going to adhere it to this paper. So we just want to put a half circle in this too, because this is where the gift card's going to go. So I'm just going to punch one, maybe not quite half the circle. Just like that. Just a small part. When we adhere it, we're going to put a little bit of glue right along the bottom right here. That's all we need for the front. Okay? We're going to line it up with the bottom of the white cardstock. So I like that this glue will stick and then give me a chance to move it around for just a second or two to make sure I get it all the way. So I like to sit it on my table like this, because that way it makes sure that this is even. And the glue gives me a chance to do that once I'm happy with where it's at. I'm going to press it with my soda press. And then I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to glue this to the back side. Whoops. That's why I like this glass desk. I just spill my glue on there and it'll just wipe right off. It makes me happy. See all this glue? It just wipes right off. Then I'm going to fold this over. Just going to make sure I don't go past the bottom of the card. If I do, I can just trim it off. It's not a big deal. Then we're going to fold this side over. There we go. Now we have a pocket that we can put our gift card in. So the gift card is right here, just so you can see that it fits in there. It fits in there just like that. Glass mats are the best. They are. And then we're going to attach this, so it's not flimsy or anything, to this card stock. And that way it hides where it's all put together. So it's not wrapped around the back piece. It's only wrapped around the inside piece. So you can't see all the inside makings of the card. I like it that way. Just going to throw some glue on here. And then I'm going to center it on top of this one. Also, I upload these videos to YouTube, so if you get the measurements and you can't remember, you can always go back to my YouTube channel and watch the video again, or speed up to wherever you're lost, and you can rewatch, and learn how to make this yourself. So now we have the inside piece that goes into here. And we have a card with a gift card in it. So I really like that. Here's the little dachshund we colored at the beginning of the video. I want to use this extra scrap piece of paper that I had, because why not, you know? You might as well use it up instead of throwing it away. So what I'm going to do is, I wasn't really exactly sure how big this was, so I'm going to grab my ruler real quick, and I'm just going to see how big this is so I know what size I would need to mat it. So this is like 1/8 of an inch smaller than 1 inch. So I'm going to make this one a little bit more than 1 inch. Again, right on the line where you can't see the measurements. So this one, I'm a really big eyeballer. I'm not joking you. So if I put this here, will it go will that one go all the way across? And it will. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on there, and then I'll just cut off the excess piece. I think I'm done with this for now. I'm just going to put this on here. This is the Doux Designs puppy and kitty paper. I think I called it Wags and Whiskers. So yeah, it's really cute. Wood on one side and doggy or kitty pattern on the other side. And that way, if there's a pattern you don't like, or if there's a pattern that you want something to match it, it's on the other side matches it. So this puppy on one side, pattern paper on the other side. Let's see. I'm just going to trim this off real quick. And then that should fit across the front of my card. Now I know I could have used a different pattern paper, but I think I'm going to make it stand up. I'm going to use my Pop Dot stuff. So I think it's going to look okay because it's going to be lifted up. So for this puppy, I think I want to put him like right above that. So cute. So I have this foam tape. It'll be really easy to do. We'll probably have to pop up the puppy too, but that's okay because he's so cute. I want to pop him up. So yeah, I bought this in a huge roll off Amazon. So I would have it easy to just do. So I just pulled the whole roll out. This is about maybe half of what size the roll was when I bought it. I've been using it for a long time. It's really great. And then I'm going to pull off the other side. If I can get a hold of it with my fingernails. And then I think I'll turn it this way so the dark is on the bottom. Maybe I want it this way. I'm just going to put it between these two dark colors because I think it'll look really good right there. Then earlier tonight we cut the sentiment out. You guys, I am a mess tonight. I don't even know. Oh, here it is. Where my stuff is. There it is. It says, it's your day. Pause and celebrate. So we're going to put that on because I want it right there on top of that bumped up piece. Maybe I'll put the little dog's feet behind the popped up part. That would be really cute too. So we're going to put this right here. This is actually a good masculine card because it's all in blue and it's got a cute little dog on it. Yeah. We'll just put him right there. He's so cute. I think we're going to pop him up too. So I have a little bit different pop dots for this because it's a little bit easier when there's a shaped thing than just straight like it was on the back of that piece. That piece was just all straight, so it was easier. But when you're doing a little animal or something like that, it's easier to use these. I like a lot of pop-up. I don't like to flip my thing over and it dips down. See how that dips down? I don't like that. So I tend to put half pieces of these in those areas just to make sure it won't dip down. I don't know why I'm so picky about that, but I really am. I just don't like it when it does that. It just drives me crazy. There we go. Let's see. I think his little ear will be okay over there. Maybe not. We'll cut one of these and just fix it. So if I need pieces of these, I just cut them out as I need them. Keep them on there. Whatever's left, I use it. I never waste any of it. I always end up using it. So I don't mind cutting it. Sometimes I end up with the last little bits and everything's small pieces, but it's still worth it to me. So sometimes I buy the little squares, but most of the time I buy the big ones because I'd rather cut them down to the size that I want than to be stuck with a whole lot of little ones and need big ones. Okay, so we're gonna put him just right here. Oh, he's so cute. So cute, so cute. All right, we also have in the stamp set, we have some other items in there that I think are super cute. So we have the little paw print, and we have the little bone. I have the ephemera as well, so I'm just going to grab the ephemera for a little bone to put on here. So when you buy the bundle, you get the ephemera too, so you can use those pieces. So the paw print I want to stamp, but the I know I have a little bone in here. There it is. So I thought it would be really cute to put the little bone on here somewhere. Maybe I want it to be up here after all. Like that. It's your day. Okay, we're going to put the little doggy bone right there because I like it, but we're not going to pop up the doggy bone. We're just going to stick it on there. It'll be his treat for his birthday. Because, you know, he has birthday, you have birthday, somebody has birthday. Just going to touch it and pick up any excess glue that might come out. Not that it matters because you can't see it anyway when it dries. But I had this idea for the little paw print, so I definitely want to do that. And then we'll put a couple of bling on there and we'll be done. So I know you won't be able to see the whole thing, but I want to put the little paw print so you can see the tops of the paws right there. So what I'm going to do is take a little pencil and I'm just going to mark like where this center is so I know when I get ready to stamp exactly where I want to stamp this so I can see the little paws. So I'm just going to grab this little paw right here and I'm just going to put it on my stamp block. And because I'm not going to be coloring around it, I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair because it seems to be a deeper, darker black than the Memento. To me, anyway. And then I'm just going to put this little paw print right here. Yay! It worked. Not that I didn't think it wasn't going to work, but you can write your sentiment here. Your little gift card fits in there. And then when you put this inside your envelope that you made, the little paw print sticks out at the top. And I think that's so cute. We also have some bling in the shop. These really cool. So we make these. My husband actually makes them, but we make our own dots in the shop. So these are the blue ones that match this. So I'm going to put a few of them on here. They come in 3 different sizes. I think it's, I can't remember now, honey. Is it 6 millimeter?
3, 5, and 6. 3,
5, and 6 millimeter. You get a mixture of them. You get about 90-ish in the packet. And so you have plenty to use. I think I'll put a couple of down here as well. Just because they're so darn cute. And I think, yeah, I think I like it. I like them down here too. I'm trying to find a medium one. There we go. I found it. Right there. There we go. So if you haven't seen it, that's the bling tray. This is the lid. It's beveled, so when you put it over top, it sticks. So I just put a rubber band around it when I travel, and I can take all my stuff with me when I go, and then when I open it, it's all still exactly where it's supposed to be. And I love that. So just in case you were curious what that was, my husband makes those as well. We make a lot of our stuff in our shop here in our house. So we really are like a mom and pop shop, like a small mom and pop shop, because we're the only two in our house. Our kids are gone. The Barely Art glue is great. It ekes out, it's okay because it dries clear and invisible and you won't be able to notice it later. So it doesn't matter that the embellishments are see-through because you won't be able to see it once they dry. So you'll really, really like it. I'm telling you, these, I like the ones with the pointy on them. They pick them up a lot better than the other ones. But they're slippery little suckers. All right, done with that. Let's just use our pickup tool because we all know that's really the smarter way to go anyway. So now my glue is dried almost. So we need a little more. These do not come with any sticky on them, so you do have to glue them down. I prefer them that way. I'm telling you what, this is really giving me a hard time tonight. It's a good thing I have good spirits. I can't tell you how many times I like go to bed at night and I have these things like stuck to my leg or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That is crazy. But that happens to me a lot. I flick them and then I don't know where they went and then they're all over the place. And I usually take my little soda press and press them down just for good measure. Make sure they're stuck good. See, like that one little guy, he moved around for a second. So I want to make sure they're on there really good. If there's a lot of glue, you can wipe it off, but you really don't have to. It really will dry clear. It's Barely Art glue, and it works great. Okay, so recap. What we did was we colored our little Dachshund doggy, and we created this entire card. And these are the measurements that I used. So here's your time. Get your snapshot ready. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it with the card beside it, so your picture will have both. So this is the envelope. I score on the long side. I even gave you a little picture in these two places, and then on the short side in this place. And then the inside card measurements are these. And then your design series paper, it's like this. So I have cut two if you want to cover both sides. So if you want the wood paper on the back, you would need to cut two of them at this size. I just put it on the front. And then that's it. And then just put it together, and you can definitely see it on the YouTube channel. And like I said earlier, I have used different designs when I'm making them. So you don't have to use a circle. You can use whatever you want. That is the puppy one we did tonight, and this is the kitty one that I did the other day. I used wood on the inside and the kitty paper on the outside. I just thought it was so cute that I thought you guys might like to see how I made it, and that's how we did it. So if you decide to try it, we would love for you to share it in the group. Show us what it looks like. Show us how wonderful job you did, because I bet you did a great job. Yep, there's the kitty. Isn't it cute? And I put fish bones on that one. This one we put the paw print like right there. So cute. Yep. So I was having a lot of fun with these because I always need gift card holders. So I thought you guys might find it handy to see that. Now, I am leaving for Mesa's Stamp and Scrap Expo. So Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, Dale will be live. So if you want to check out what he's got going on, then join us on Thursday at 8 p.m. And I'll be back on Tuesday. We are always live Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. And we upload to YouTube afterwards. So if you miss it, or you only see part, or you want to watch a replay, you can catch it on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on the YouTube channel right now, please like and subscribe. We could use some help on our YouTube channel. So thank you. Did you like the color along, Diana? Did you do okay? Were you able to keep up? I was trying to move at a good pace for that, so I hope that worked out good for you. And I hope you guys had a great evening, and I will see you next week. I might, if it's available, I may be able to go live while I'm at the expo and say hi to you guys and show you what's there. But I can't promise because I'm not sure how the Wi-Fi is going to be. But I will try. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you'll try this. Take care.